Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Trusted Frog, and this is my road to red rank. Now, the reason why you're seeing the Trapper here is I had a daily ritual for Trapper. Basically, I had to capture 4 survivors in my bear traps. Now, I figured this would probably be a good time to try and get the Adept Trapper. Of course, I already had the achievement, so I should have checked before I did it, but for the perks, I went with Brutal Strength, which lets me destroy dropped pallets, breakable walls, and generators 10% faster. I went for Agitation, which increases my movement speed while transporting bodies by 6% at this level. And Unnerving Presence. So survivors in my terror radius have a 10% greater chance of triggering skill checks when repairing or healing. And the success zones is reduced by 50%. So for those who don't know, to get the Adept achievement with either the Survivors or the Killers, you have to use only their 3 perks, and you have to, with Survivors, escape the trial, and I believe with Killers you have to achieve a ruthless gameplay. Now, I already had this achievement, so it really wasn't necessary to go for these 3 perks, but I mean the matches still turned out really good, as you're going to see. I had a lot of fun with Trapper, actually, which is not something I'd hear myself say because I never really liked the Trapper in the first place, but yeah, these matches turned out pretty good, and on to the gameplay. Okay, Coldwind Farm. Like I said before, I'm really starting to like this map. Although it is pretty easy to lose survivors sometimes in the corn, I'm finding this map is really fun to play on. I believe this is also the Trapper's main map. Now, I get lucky here right at the start. There is a Meg repairing this generator, so I do manage to get the hit off here. And as she tries to run away, we run into another 2 survivors. I get a hit here as well, and then I start to chase after the Meg again. He tries to go for the pallet stun, and I avoid that. I don't know what the Meg was thinking coming back around, but I do manage to take her down as she vaults over the pallet. Now, for some reason, the Fang decides that she's going to try and pick her up while I'm doing this, so I do get a hit off of her. And we get our first hook of the game here. I've been finding that in this game particularly, that all the survivors are trying to play like very altruistically and are not rushing the gens, which is fine by me. It makes the games last longer, I find, plus it makes it more interesting and fun. Now, I did set up the trap there in front of the generator in hopes to try and catch them, because I mean, it is the daily ritual. It's the reason why we're playing these, so the Meg does get saved here, and he falls into the trap, which is what we wanted. So that's one for the daily ritual. I decided to leave him slugged here for a second to try and get a hit on the Fang. It is something I'm trying to do more now, is not pick them up or hook them right away. I've been finding that in the next matches, as I leave them slugged, it gives me more time to actually chase them down, and they don't get unhooked right away. Now, that's the second hook for this Meg, and this is the other Fang. There were 2 Fangs in this match. I managed to get a hit off her here. I don't know if vaulting over this would have made it any faster or saved any time, but I do jump off here and I do go after her. She is going into the killer shack, and it's usually not a good place to try and catch survivors early on in the game, but you know what? I'm the Trapper. I'm going to set traps, and hopefully she's going to fall for it. And she did. So that's 2 for the daily ritual, and there's a basement hook for her, and a basement hook for us. Now, they did manage to unhook the other survivor and heal up. And I do find this guy. I believe this is Felix. And we swing and miss, unfortunately. He's running into me, I believe is what it is, and that's why I keep missing. Every time he runs towards me, he goes out of my field of vision, and I end up missing the hits. I find with him I had to back up as he was chasing around me, and then I was able to hit him. Respected the pallet there, went for the hit, and of course he dead-hearted through, and dropped the pallet preemptively again. Now I do do a tiny bit of a moonwalk here to try and get him around, and it worked out because I was able to down him. While we were chasing him, the other Fang actually died on hook. They weren't able to save her in time, so that was the first death. Now, the Meg here was trying to hide behind a rock, which did not work out very much for her. She's already been hooked twice as well, so if I do manage to hook her here, that'll be her death hook. And we do manage to get the hook. So that's death number 2. Meanwhile, the Felix was saved. I'm going to make use of the brutal strength here. At this point in time, I decided to pick up extra bear traps because I didn't know that with the trapper, you have to pick up the traps around the map. So I started doing that and setting more down to try and get more of the daily ritual done. I do get a hit on the Fang here. I believe she gets a pallet stun. Or no, she doesn't. She went running through the building. I was kind of hoping to lure her into the trap. Ah, yes. This is where she got the pallet stun. I thought it was another. I thought she got the pallet stun on the other pallet, but she didn't. Yep, I went through this pallet here. I think she went for a fake, and I guess I called her out on it. So there's her first hook. I thought I had hooked her before, but I guess not. A little tip that I was told: whenever you're playing Trapper, there's the dead heart again. Oh, I am so glad that dead heart got nerfed. Yeah, so one of the things that I was told with Trapper is that you should preemptively set your traps in a certain area and try and lure them all into that area and just basically play around there. So that way they'll fall into your traps and you can just grab them out of it. Now he's looping me around here, probably trying to go for the pallet stun, but the Bloodlust kicks in right here and I managed to down him. Now what he's doing here is he's going down under the pallet, so that way when I pick him up, if there was another survivor, they could pallet stun me and basically rescue him. So he was the third death, and the fourth survivor did manage to find the hatch. So all in all, we got a 3 kill on this one, which was really, really good for us. Mount Ormond Resort is our second one. I'm so-so on this map. It's not one of my favorites, but it's also not one of my worst. So this match actually goes really, really well as well. I use the same 3 perks as in the previous match, because again, completely forgot to check on whether or not I had the Adept Trapper, so I just kept these same perks. Now she loops me around a bit, and I do get the hit off her and hear the generator go off, so I decided to break chase from her because, you know, I'm trying not to stay in chase with the same survivor, especially one that can loot me really well for too long, which paid off because I did manage to down the other Claudette. They did manage to finish a second generator, but it's the only generator they finished for a little bit now. I do manage to down this Jake as well, right here. Meanwhile, the other Claudette is being saved, which is fine. We did catch the Dwight. I think that's Dwight. We caught him in our bear trap, which is number 3, and we managed to down him and hook him. So far it's a good start for us. It's only 2 gens down, but we did get 2 hooks, so we have 2 on hooks right now. And She went to go for the save here and then saw me and decided not to. Don't know if that was really smart or not, but she tried for the pallet stun here, and we respected the pallet, but she goes for the save here, and then the Jake runs into me because he's got the borrowed time, and of course, I forgot about that. I do catch her here in the trap, which is the 4th one in the daily ritual complete, and for some reason, the Dwight decided to stay there. So we're just going to down him and hook him too, because, you know, why not? So now we're up to 6 hooks already. There's 3 generators down. This game's going really good now. He's trying to lure us away, so I'm not falling for that this time. I'm coming back to check on these guys here, because I'm pretty sure somebody's coming for the save. So I look in on both. Nobody's coming for the save. I'm going to take the time to kick this generator, seeing as I can now. And I do decide to go for the chase on the Jake here. And as I start to go for the chase, I look at the survivors, and there's the Claudette going for the save. So I managed to get the hit off on her. And then she goes to go for the second save here, but decides not to, and I do manage to down her. Now, unfortunately for the Dwight, that means he is dead. So there's the first death. And I do get the hook on her here, which is her second hook. And now everybody is on death hooks. So this is good for me. He does manage to get the stun here, and while he stuns me, the save goes off. But that's okay. I believe I managed to down this Claudette. Now I do swing a couple times here and miss, but I do eventually manage to get her down. And because she is on death's hook, this puts her out of the game. Now we're chasing after the last 2 survivors. Do manage to find the Jake here. And he did manage to stun me here and jump over the pallet, but I'm going to break this because this is a fairly safe loop for the survivors. He vaulted the window, and I get him to vault back. And now he goes around, so I'm just going to sit here and wait a couple seconds, and then I'm going to come over, and that managed to get him down too. And he is also dead on hook. So now we're up to 3. Now I'm looking for the hatch because, you know, I want to close it, get some extra blood points, and make sure that the 4th survivor doesn't get out. But at the same time, we end up finding her, so we're just going to chase after. We swing and miss there, but we get a hit here. Gives us a bit of the runaround. Tries to go for the pallet stun, but we're not falling for that. Swing and a miss again here. Start chasing her down, and I get her right around the corner here. She tries to run into me again, but I'm not falling for it this time. And I do manage to get her down. And that is hook number 4. So all in all, these 2 games were pretty good. 3 kills in the first game, 4 kills in the second. This is really good, and again, like, I never ever played Trapper, so I was actually quite surprised at how these games went. Yeah, overall I was really happy with these games, and I believe we get our ritual complete here, and this does put us up 1 pip away from Ash 1. So yeah, all in all, very happy with the way these went. You can definitely see the improvement. I'm respecting the pallets more. Still got to work on my distancing, but other than that, we're doing pretty good. So I hope you enjoyed the matches, and until the next ones, Stressful Frog out.